guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video we are doing my June wrap up from this month. I did not read a lot of books this month. I think I read like 7 or 8. Usually my average is between 10 and 12. But I'm not going to talk about how many books I read because it doesn't matter. At least I read some books. It was better than May though. I was in a slump for a good half of this month. Towards the end of the month I really got out of it, so I'm very thankful for that. Today we're going to be talking about all the books I read, and we're going to be talking about the book that put me into a slump and then the books that got me out of it. We're just gonna get right on into this video because I'm very excited for it. So let's just get started. Alright, so the first book that I read this month was A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime by Monica Murphy. I read this at the very beginning of this month. I gave this book a 4 out of 5. I did not enjoy it the first 150 pages of this book because the whole entire time the characters were like, oh, like I'm a bad boy, oh, I'm a virgin, I'm a good girl, I'm this, I'm that, whatever. That really annoyed me for the first half of this book. I was going through and I was like, am I gonna DNF this? Because I was honestly really considering DNFing this book because I was getting so annoyed. But after the first 150 pages, it really picked up. This book is basically like Pretty Little Liars and Gossip Girl wrapped into one. I love this book so much. It has, obviously everybody knows what this book is about. It's about Crew Lancaster and Ren Bennett. Crew is a boy obsessed. He has the boy obsessed trope. It's amazing. Ren is a good girl, kind of. She just wants to please her family and please everyone else around her, and Crew really teaches her like, hey, you can do stuff for yourself. This book also does not have the Act 3 breakup, which I realized like while I was reading it. It doesn't have the Act 3 breakup, which is amazing because Act 3 breakup is the most stupid trope of the entire world, and this does not have it. It had literally so much going on that I enjoyed it so much. The character development was great. The quotes in here were amazing, and I also love how this book is based off a real art piece. I just think it's amazing that authors get like inspiration for a story out of anything. It's just really beautiful that way. I really enjoy this book. I don't really have that much to say because I read it at the beginning of this month and I don't remember a ton of it. If you guys want to see a really in-depth review, go to my Bookstagram because I kind of wrote out a whole paper. So after that book, I went on my Kindle and I read The Truth About Love by B. Celeste. I gave this book a 4 out of 5. Don't remember much of it. I remember the girl. She was adopted. I remember it being like stepbrother's best friend, I believe. Let me read my notes real quick, actually. So yeah, the girl's name is River and the boy's name is Everett. She was adopted into the James family. I remember really loving the James family because they were so accepting and so absolutely loving towards her and her stepbrother. She was 13 and Everett was 17 whenever they met, but there wasn't a connection until she was like 18. He's 4 years older, so he was like 21, 22, which I personally enjoyed because it would be weird if there was a connection between a 13-year-old and a 17-year-old like that. I saw that in their ages and I was like, I don't really know how I'm gonna like this, but nothing happened until she was older, which I appreciated. So yeah, I remember also hating Isabel. There was this kind of big plot hole between Everett and Isabel. Kind of annoyed me because I was like, okay, where did this leave them? I really did enjoy it though because River was very mature about everything that she did. She was like, okay, I need time to myself. Okay, we can talk about this. We still need to discuss this. It was a very mature book in that sense, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 and not a 5 out of 5 just because of like obviously the plot hole. It was kind of weird at first, and then the ending of the book, like for the next book that was supposed to continue on, that really threw me off, and I will not be reading the next book in the series because it is about an uncle and his niece. So absolutely not. It is by adoption, so if you don't really care, go ahead and read it. Me personally, I will not be reading that book. I did, however, enjoy The Truth About Love because it really showed you what love is to this author and what love is to these characters, just going through like their hardships with them. It was so incredibly interesting and eye-opening, but I did really enjoy this book though. So after that book, I decided to finally pick up the Addicted series by Krista and Becca Ritchie. I gave this book a 5 out of 5. I did a whole entire reading log of the first 2 books in the Addicted series, so go watch that if you have not. This is just going to be like a quick review. In there I go a little bit more in depth. I was really annoyed by Lily and Lo for the majority of this book. I was just getting really annoyed by them because I'm like, okay, you guys like need to get it together, and then I realized like they're addicts. They don't really know what they're doing. They really don't understand understand why they're doing what they're doing, and once I realized that, it really picked up from there. I did enjoy this book though. I laughed a lot, I cried at the end. It was just so beautiful. Everybody knows what the Addicted series is about. Lily and Lo, they're addicts, and instead of helping each other, they enabled each other, and now they're trying to get over their addictions. It's just really beautiful, and you got a lot of backstory in here about their families, about who they are, and I really loved every single character in this book. There was not one person that I sat there and I was like, I don't like you at all and you can't make me like you, because I enjoyed every single person in this book. I really loved it. Addicted to You was a 5 out of 5 for me. And then from there, I read Ricochet. I gave this one a 4.5 out of 5. I really wish Lo was in here more. I really wish that we got to see what was going on with him, but this book did focus on Lily, and it's just so beautiful. I did not like Reich for the majority of this book because he was so hard on Lily. It was really honestly annoying. I just wanted to go into this book and punch him because he needed to get over himself and stop judging her so much, but he did redeem himself. I love the connection between him and Daisy. I just know Daisy is gonna be my favorite character out of anybody in this story, and I love Reich literally so much now. Lily did annoy me for most of this book as well because of people doubting her. She really doubted herself and like overthought a lot of things, but I do understand because people were doubting her, so she was like, am I really this good? I really enjoyed these two books. I'm very excited to read the next one, which is Addicted for Now. I'm looking at it, so if you see me looking over this way, I'm looking at the books because I have the first 5. I will be buying the rest, mark my words. But yeah, I really enjoyed these books. So the book that I read after the Addicted series was Say You Swear by Megan Brantley, I believe. I think that's Megan Brantley, something like that. I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. I love this book so much. I want to get the paperback, but I want the special edition paperback, which I don't think is out yet, or if it is, I just can't find it. I love Ariana so much. I'm not gonna tell you who she ended up with because that is like a big like kind of, I mean, you can just tell whenever you start reading the book, but it's kind of like the plot twist in the book, but it's between this guy Noah and her brother's best friend Chase. I really enjoyed this book. I cried. It was just so heartwarming and heartbreaking at the same time. Everything that Ariana wanted, she got. She may not have known it at the time, but she got what she wanted. It was just so beautiful. And then the ending, the last like 100 pages of this book were like, what is going on? What is going on? But it was so entertaining, so enjoyable, and just so heartwarming. It made me cry. Go read it. I really don't want to tell you anything about it. I went into a blind. You should go into a blind. 110%. Go into a blind. Read it. It's amazing. 5 out of 5. One of my favorite books that I've read this year is Say You Swear. And then after I read Say You Swear, I finished Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. I started and finished it. This has been on my TBR since March, and I have not read a single page in it until June, but this book was the book that put me into a reading slump for a good long bit of this month. It was just really slow. I've read 5 Harry Potter books. There's 7 of them. I will be finishing it. I'm already this far into the series and I just want to because they are my boyfriend's favorite books, but I just don't like the Harry Potter series. I like the movies a lot more than the book. The books are just not that enjoyable to me, but that's okay. At least I'm trying and I've gotten this far into it, but this book did put me into a really big slump. I'm sure all of you really love the Harry Potter series if you grew up reading with it, but I just did not, and yeah. Alright, so the next book that I read, or tried to read, after Harry Potter was Shameless King by Maya Hughes. I DNF'd this book, not because I was in a slump, but because, maybe it was because I was in a slump. Maybe I'll try it again, but it's a hockey sports romance and I just wasn't vibing with the characters. I really wasn't. It felt like exactly like the Off-Campus series, but a little bit worse. I did not enjoy this book. I DNF'd it like 30-40% into it. I just thought I would mention it because at least I tried to read it. I just didn't. But the next book I did actually finish, and that is The Upside of Falling by Alex Light. I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. It is a YA romance, but the reason I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars was because number 1, it got me out of my slump, and number 2, it was so incredibly enjoyable, and number 3, the quotes in this book were actually so cute and so good. It's just a really cute like YA romance and it's about a little shy girl and like a football player. I don't know, it was just really cute to go back and like read books like that. It just reminded me of like books I read in high school and just like high school in general. I don't know, it got me out of my slump. It was a super quick read. I read it in a day and I just remember loving it so much, and I was like, I have to give this 5 out of 5 stars. I just have to. There's nothing in me telling me that I can't. So this book is also fake dating, which is so cute. Oh my god, I just love this book, and it was just so much more than like a cheesy little YA romance. Like, this book actually had some depth that I was not expecting. I was just like, that's really heavy. This is kind of good. Because I like books like that. I'm a very kind of emotional reader, I guess. Like, I like it whenever my characters are broken. So yeah. But the last book that I read this month that I actually finished this morning is Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. I saw this book was on Kindle Unlimited. I want the paperback because I don't like hardcover books. They irk me. So I will be waiting to get the paperback. But it was on Kindle Unlimited and I just had to read it. I gave this book a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. The main girl, Liz, she really annoyed me. I'm not even gonna lie. I sat there and I was like, you are so mean to everybody around you sometimes. I really wish that she would have just communicated how she felt better with people. But at the same time, like, I kind of understand that she was going through, but I also kind of didn't. I did absolutely love Wes though. He is my favorite book boyfriend. He's just so sweet and he did everything for her just out of kindness. It's basically childhood enemies to lovers. You guys should all go read it because I had to read this book because Haley Pham is like, this is my favorite book I've ever read in my entire life, so I had to read it. I didn't quite enjoy it as much as I hoped, but that's okay because everybody has different tastes and I still love this book. But it's not like too YA either, which I enjoyed. So yeah. So those are all the books I read in the month of June. As I said, I didn't read that many books. Hopefully July is better. I have a lot of exciting books I want to read in July. But yeah, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe, stay a while. I will also be doing more vlogs. It's just been book video after book video after book video on this channel, and I kind of need to spice it up with some vlogs because I'm low-key getting bored of the book content coming from me whenever I do also love to do vlogs, and I just haven't done them in a while. But I did just buy a new camera, so more vlogs will be coming soon. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.